This video will have a look at changes for filing tax year 2024 slip, including changes to the T619 and the required changes in e-file options for the setup for slip filers. So what's new? For 2025, there are changes going forward. The changes will affect all slip filing as of January 13th, 2025, when the slip filing window reopens at CRA. Quebec has not made any changes. The slip filing process for Quebec slips has not changed. What has changed? I'll just point out a couple highlights here. The T619 schema has changed. Batch filing is allowed. It has changed. You can only file one slip type in an XML. And there's online validation. The change information, what's new, is in a web page CRA has, and let's go look at online validation. It doesn't directly affect the implementation of ProFile, but has a lot of important information. Here I've done a search for CRA slip filers. What's new? This is the article. I can see it's very new. It's December 9th. What's new for 2025? That's why I call it 25 tax year. That's what CRA calls it. So it's for 2024 slips going forward. You'll see it referred to both, but it is for 2024 slips going forward. It talks about the T619, information return type, online validation, and let's go see what it says under online validation. There's some very important things here. There's this to make sure your files are submitted properly. Anything that has to do with the specification, the form of the T619, ProFile looks after that. It meets all the requirements for CRA submission of slip. There's information here about the transmitter CRA account number. The transmitter number information has changed. The old transmitter number starting with MM, they're no longer used. So that's one point here and something to watch for when we look at the setup. The other thing is, like I was pointing out, that one return type in each file. ProFile has been working on accommodating this requirement. This is an important section I wanted to point out because if I look at the top of this section, there's online validation will take place starting January 13th. This is important. This whole document's important. I just wanted to point out these things. Let's go back to the slides and look at the changes in ProFile. There's a new T619. It's been changed. It'll be required for all slip filing from January 13th, 2025 on. Again, when the slip filing window opens at CRA, all slips all years must use the new schema. The old schema is no longer valid. As I pointed out earlier, the old transmitter number is no longer used. The MM type transmitter numbers are no longer valid. Just go briefly back to that What's New article and look at the 619 changes there. I'm back on the What's New page. If I scroll down to the 619 section, there's more information. It just tells us that the third-party transmitter sign-in must match what's in the T619. There is a link to the 619. I click on that. This has the fields that were removed, the fields that were updated, the new fields added, and details of the field for those that are interested. So let's have a look how all this affects the setup and ProFile. This is the way setup looked before the current version, 2024.2.0, implemented the new e-filing options. Just as a reference, the entry screen has been modified. What we changed is we removed fields that are no longer required and added the fields that are required. That background, let's look at ProFile. In ProFile, this is the setup as of 2024.2.0. I'll go up to e-file options, and there's the T3FX section. Transmitter has changed. So let me just look here first. So there's the contact information. You should still fill out that information. I've got transmitter though. This is the one that changed. Like I mentioned before, Quebec hasn't changed, so the information is basically the same. It's just been moved into a different tab. We're working on tweaks to this, like to have the tabs highlighted, making sure the entries you have stick. Also, these tool tips, they should stick until you move away. So there's a couple of fine-tuning items that we're in process of resolving. While I'm here, I will mention that the rep ID, it is pulled over from options environment prepare. You can override it though. If you don't want it pulled over, I can put a different number in there. Slip batches can be created in Client Explorer. CRA will only allow one slip type. They call them information return per XML. Starting in 2024.2.0, the build a slip batch dialog accommodates this. Let's go have a look in ProFile. I'm in Client Explorer. I'm in a filtered view for FX 2024. I've got two files selected. These files, they can have any number of slips created. I could have T5s, T4s, any slips that are required to be created and sent to CRA. I can only send one slip type per XML. So I'll go up to database here, build, and I get this batch filing box. It says select applicable slip. So in the past, CRA allowed multiple slips in an XML, but like I was showing earlier in this video, they will not accept multiple slips in the same XML. So I have to select one and I can start building the batch. And then when the window opens, January 13th, I can send the slip. Down at the bottom here, let me make this window smaller. I'm going to upload the XML just to show what's happening now. And this is the state of the CRA website right now. Service is not available. It closed December 2nd and will reopen January 13th. So slips cannot be filed at this time. And that's a quick look at batch filing from Client Explorer. I hope this video was helpful. For more support options, you can go to our website. It's profile.intuit.ca.